Are you sure you know who psychopaths are? What if I told you that almost everything you've heard about them is not true? And that by confusing them with sociopaths, you risk a lot. Imagine your new colleague, charming and successful, is actually a predator in a business suit. Or that quiet girl from the next doorway who wouldn't hurt a fly. What if one of them is a psychopath and the other is a sociopath? And what if you can't see the difference? These are not just words. This is your safety. Many people think that psychopath and sociopath are official diagnoses, like schizophrenia or depression. But what if I told you that no psychiatrist in the world would write diagnosis psychopath in a patient's chart? These are outdated terms that have now been replaced by a more accurate one, dissocial personality disorder. But the devil, as always, is in the details. What if one is born that way and the other becomes one? Imagine a brain. In one person, certain areas responsible for emotions simply don't work from birth. Cold, calculating, he's incapable of empathy. This is a psychopath. Now imagine another person. His brain is fine, but he grew up in an environment where violence and manipulation were the norm. He learned to be cruel to survive. This is a sociopath. One is a product of nature, the other of nurture. And this difference is the key to understanding their behavior. Do you think they're somewhere far away in prisons or movies? What if they're sitting at the next table in the office? A psychopath will charm the bosses, weave intrigues, and cold-bloodedly walk over people without batting an eye. He's a perfect manipulator. A sociopath, on the other hand, is likely to be impulsive, may suddenly flare up, break the rules, and create a conflict out of the blue. He's not so good at hiding. Recognize anyone? What about empathy? A psychopath doesn't feel it, but he imitates it brilliantly. He knows how to react correctly to make you trust him. A sociopath doesn't even try. His emotions, if any, are superficial and quickly replaced by anger or irritation. One is an actor, the other is a rebel. Can they be helped? What if I told you that it's almost impossible to help a psychopath? His brain is simply not programmed for empathy. For him, therapy is just a way to learn how to manipulate even better. But a sociopath can be helped. Since his problem is in the software, not the hardware, therapy can teach him new patterns of behavior. Who's more dangerous? Imagine two criminals. One plans a robbery for months, cold-bloodedly, and without emotion. The other robs a store on the spur of the moment. A psychopath is a strategist. His crimes are thought out to the smallest detail. A sociopath is impulsive. His actions are chaotic and unpredictable. A psychopath is more dangerous in the long run. A sociopath is here now. Let's look at real examples. Ted Bundy was a charming and educated psychopath who killed dozens of women. He skillfully manipulated people and denied his guilt to the very end. Now remember the stories of street gangs, where teenagers commit brutal crimes out of a fit of anger. This is sociopathy in action. Why do you need to know all this? Because knowledge is power. By understanding the difference, you can recognize a manipulator, predict aggression, and ultimately protect yourself and your loved ones. This is not about making diagnoses, but about seeing through people. So the next time you meet someone new, take a closer look. What if behind a charming smile there's a cold calculation? What if behind impulsivity there's a deep trauma? Stop labeling. Start understanding.